So marketing in 2024, let's start easy. Let's start at the bottom of the totem pole. I have no money. You have no money, that's cool, man. I started with no money. Most people that I know that are really wealthy today started in this business and had no money and bootstrapped it, which means picked their asses up with their hands and figured out a way to get it done. If you've got no money, you're going to start probably with something like driving for dollars or knocking on doors, talking to sellers, trying to find that next deal. As you start to do some deals, you should be reinvesting that money back into your real estate business, right? Don't spend it all. Put some money into your business, and that's the fuel that turns the engine. Driving for dollars is great if you don't have a lot of money. Knocking on doors, put out bandit signs, those little street signs that are incredibly illegal. But, we put those out every week that says we buy houses. And, are those free? Of course not. But I think the plastic is maybe $2. You handwrite your message and put them in the ground or on a wooden stake, metal stake, or even nail them to a telephone pole. So that's kind of guerrilla marketing, right? That you can definitely do some of that stuff. But as you start to get some cash coming into your business, you've closed one or two deals, maybe now you can buy a list, right? The one great thing about the internet, the way things have changed, is there's a list for everything. We're all in the system, we're all tracked. So there's no fantasy that your Google doesn't know who you are, right? I pulled this list actually one time. We had this really high-end house on a golf course and we wanted to lease option it. So I pulled a list of married couples between 30 and 40 who had a combined income of over 200,000 who liked to golf, right? That's crazy, right? But I was able to pull that list. I paid a couple $100 for it, and then I mailed all of those people information on the property that we had for sale and on the open house that we were going to do. So how is all of that information out there? Well, not to get off on too much of a side tangent, but everything that we do is collected, right? There are data companies, and they take all of our information and they sell it, right? It just is what it is. It's just the way that the world works. But like when you go to the grocery store and you key in your little number, you put your phone number in to get their rewards program, what they're doing is they're tying the cat food, the ice cream sandwiches, and the Motrin that you just bought to you, and they're creating a profile, and then they sell that data. If I was looking for single males between 25 and 30 who own a cat, I could get that list. Data providers, the credit bureaus know your age, they know what your income is, and you buy cat food at Walmart twice a week, you're going to pop up on that list. So anyways, as you get a little bit of money, maybe now you want to start doing a little bit broader marketing, right? So we're going to buy a list of people who we think would be likely to sell a house. So the easiest list is going to be an absentee owner. You can pull it right out of public record, or you can use something like PropStream or Privy or PropWire. I think actually PropWire, Jerry Norton's program, he'll give you like 10,000 free records a month, completely free. Absentee owners are going to be people who own a property, but the tax bill is sent to someplace completely different. What does that tell you? That's somebody who maybe inherited it, somebody who moved from the property, or maybe it's an investor. But that's an easy list to start with because they don't live there. They probably don't have much of an emotional attachment to the property. Maybe we're going to look at pulling a list of absentee owners who've owned the property for 20 years. Why 20 years? Because they bought it a long time ago and maybe they're not super in debt or they're not looking for $1 million to sell it. You could pull a list of people who are going through divorce. You can pull a list of people in bankruptcy or landlords who are going through eviction. All of these lists are available. So what I want you to be thinking about is who would be wanting to sell a property quickly and at a discount. Lots of you guys are going to put comments that I'm full of shit. Nobody's going to sell a house for 50 cents on the dollar. But I'm here to tell you, man, people do it every single day, just all the time. Why do they do it? Why wouldn't they put it with a realtor? I don't know, man. I've done thousands of deals and just some people don't want to fool with it, right? Some people don't want to go through the headache of fixing things up or replacing carpet or putting in new paint or putting a new roof on it or taking that tree off the back of the house that fell. People just want to be done with it and they're looking for a quick solution. And that's what we do. As wholesalers and investors, our job when we're talking to a seller is providing a solution. And hopefully you come at this business from that mindset, that kind of servant mindset of how can I help you? How would I market if I was starting today in 2024? If I had no money, again, driving for dollars, door knocking, bandit signs. If I had a little bit of money, I would pull a list, right? And once I have that list, right now there's a lot of things that I can do with it. I could do what's called skip trace that list. And if you don't know what that means, now I've went to one service and I bought the list, right? The list of people in Chattanooga, Tennessee who've owned a property for 20 years but don't live at the property. Maybe that's going to give me 3,000 records, right? Now I take that list and then I go to a company that does what's called skip tracing. What that means is they're going to take that information, they're going to put it through another system, another database, and it's going to spit out phone numbers that go with each one of those properties. What's the accuracy? I don't know, man. 60 to 70% accurate. So there's going to be some bad phone numbers in there. But still, now I can take that list and I can call each person. I can pay somebody to call each person, or I can send them all text messages, or I can take that list, I can mail mail them a postcard. I can mail them a letter. You know, it depends on how much money you've got to spend. So certainly those are great ways to get a hold of people. If you have even more money, maybe kind of that next level up is going to be, you can completely hire all of this out, right? I have lots of great friends, if you want to message me, who have these types of services, who you can tell them, hey, I want you to use your callers and I want you to call every absentee owner in the state of Tennessee. Now you're just outsourcing. So we can find companies who will send text messages for you. You can find people who will do cold calling for you. You can pay people to do mailers for you, right? There's a great company that will, you literally just call them and tell them what criteria it is, and they will send out postcards and letters for you. Now, the more you outsource, the more expensive it gets, which is why I said, let's start basic. If you don't have any money, you can definitely do this business. Don't get discouraged. You can build your business on a bootstrap, which is how we did it. And then as we started closing deals, now we were able to reinvest that money and sort of work our way up the totem pole to the most expensive stuff. And really the highest level of marketing where we are at was pay-per-click advertising, called PPC advertising. We're paying Google every month, and we were paying $20,000 to $25,000 a month, Google, to run ads. Next time you go to Google and you do a search for something, you're gonna get what's called organic hits, right? Let's say I'm searching for Converse sneakers in Chattanooga. I'm gonna get all the stores that sell Converse in Chattanooga. But then at the very top are going to be paid ads, right? Maybe Belks is running a sale on Converse, so they're going to run an ad at the very top that says, hey, Belks has Converse 20% off this week. So those are paid ads. Well, you do the same thing with We Buy Houses ad. And typically you're going to outsource this to a company. You can do it yourself, but it's a lot of money, so you don't want to screw it up. It's not something you want to learn on the job. But PPC, that's sort of like your highest level of advertising, because I can basically put my American Express into Google, tell it how much I wanted to spend, and it will push out those ads. And as people go online and search for sell my house quick in Chattanooga, or need to sell fast Chattanooga, whatever keywords I put in there, well, then my ad pops up and then they call me. I literally am doing nothing but turning on the ads, putting my credit card in, and now people start calling in. I do want to sell my house. What can you give me for it? So that's the two different spectrums are there. At the very beginning, I'm pushing out all of the marketing, waiting for somebody to call me, to when you get to the higher level here. And I have friends that spend $100,000 a month doing this. They're writing a check or using their American Express, paying for Google ads, and then all of a sudden those calls just come into their sales. So that's marketing in 2024. It has definitely changed a lot in the last 20 years. In the old days, as we say, bandit signs and handwritten letters were the king of all marketing. And now you've got ringless voicemails, RVMs, you've got SMS texting, which is, it's gotten a little more complicated the last couple of years with some regulations, but you've got all sorts of different direct mail, cold callers. There's thousands of cold calling companies out there. There's hiring virtual assistants that can do outreach for you. So lots of different ways to do marketing in this business to get you going. But ultimately, do not get hung up on whether or not you have money or not. Because if you don't have money, you can invest your time and offset that. You can be very, very profitable not spending a ton of money. Now there's a limit, right? There's only so many days and times that you can spend driving up and down streets to get addresses of distressed houses. But it's a great way to get started. And if I lost all my money tomorrow, I would literally get my notebook, my clipboard, my pen and paper, and I would go back out driving for dollars, because it's the most predictable source of leads out there. So hopefully that helped you, gave you a little bit of an understanding about marketing and sort of the different levels, like a Yelp review, right? Like $1 sign up to $5 signs, right? Like we have something for everybody. There is definitely a way to build your leads. You don't have a lot of money, but if you do have some money and you want to go fast, you can definitely go right to PPC advertising. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button. We're going to be doing a lot of videos like this.